200, 150, 200.
Say last time, no, first day, no, they were caught off guard.
They okay.
It's no 500.
Yeah.
Say, no, I didn't cry, mom, so benya. Ubechu be cry. Because we know them also.
Okay.
And to the infant is a first day, no, 500. Even if we go at that rate, it will take 60 years to deport them.
60 years now will be open.
See, that is the point I'm making, sir.
Okay.
Trump and Sam Kekano. On can say, Nania Brace or you. I just political gimmicks.
Okay.
Exactly.
Okay.
Also, obey. Let me give you another example. Also, Obecha birthright citizenship. Do you know the most absurd thing any president in this world has done? Say, Obefa executive instrument as sign say, would you be a constitutional guarantee? Birthright citizenship. He passed an executive order to
cancel
birthright citizenship. It is the 14th Amendment of the U.S. Constitution. And we know, say, Constitution,
it's supreme.
It is supreme to everything.
Yeah.
And that's why, and you think he doesn't have lawyers who know that? They know it. But person here, now Democrats in the court, they can say, Trump then go
or try it.
Or try and I know. So it is just political games nowadays.
Oh yeah.
And play. And sir, a year or because a mass deportation here, I don't know. First of all, the problem itself, the problem of mass deportation itself, has started very poorly to begin with.
Yeah.
And we shouldn't even be thinking about say how will it affect us, because what the infant is nipa 10 crown over 500 more Ghanaians. What the infant is nipa 10. Say we crown 200 bill. Because 10 now man and almost our kwachi woman. And it's no. Baby I'm for you juma kwachi woman bi ansan go bill. So in the chair. And besides that, Ochin Susuna. Do you know, sir, they are trying to deploy them in military aircrafts? How many of that can you deploy to every country? You can't do that.
You can't.
You cannot do that. You can't deploy them to every... the military aircraft, and in your own laws, no? So, Obi Etna, a friend say, baby, for more than 10 years, well, you should ties with
the home country. Yeah.
And some of these people have been there for over 20 years.
Yeah.
And therefore, they are stateless.
But they still have an origin. They have a home country.
Yes, but it doesn't mean, sir.
Yeah.
The point is that once a woman wakotna Ivory Coast for 10 years, it means that you are not a friend. Say you have lost ties with Ghana.
Yeah.
And and now Ivory Coast also see empower. Not just a wooden who's say rim. They make out here. And like I said, the success of this Trump policy, it has a problem to begin with.
Okay.
And Nadia, me feel say, I starting but the price tag of this policy and at the number of a year, say in Rome, sir, immigration workers already there are 85,000 of them.
85,000.
Yes, and no more existing. Sir, 85,000. It makes sense to use them to go after the criminals now. Rather, and deporting people who are inside because you are trying to solve a fentanyl problem doesn't make any sense. It's counterproductive. Why am I saying that? Because you should rather focus your attention on shutting the border. Because none of the fentanyl factories exist in US soil. They don't produce them there. They bring it from Mexico. So if you shut the border and you make issues at the border very tighter, you prevent the cartels from bringing the thing in. Okay. And that is rather the solution.
So you don't think that Trump a deportation
was started?
Yeah.
But the success of it in the Ekano. Okay. It's just a political gimmick which will play to his base. Say a friend say on the try.
Yeah.
And like I told you, it will be a crazy president who will take an executive instrument and sign say Wabani birthright citizenship because it is a constitutional provision. And before you can do that in US law, you need to test majority of Congress. You also need to test of the local legislations in the various states. So 50 of them,
which is entrenched.
Take a place like Florida.
Yeah.
Florida is Republican. It hasn't gone Democrat since Obama.
Yeah.
So it is Republican. Florida, Republicans, it will be politically suicidal, see a best side with you. Why? Because a lot of Puerto Ricans near the idea Florida no. 120 years. Florida, Florida, it will be difficult for you to support such a.
Even though so we are
it tells you say political leaning states crown and you na bet me ide atai sa ayinachi and it is dead on arrival. Let us say interview no and say the judge no was biased and you know he knows say it will he will succeed. He's appealing it. Across Supreme Court, I'm waiting to see how biased a Supreme Court will be. Rebecca say a fundamental, a friend say, commonsensical thing in law said the Constitution is supreme. No, which Supreme Court in this world? So I'm meeting the camera because I said Ghana is Supreme Court. Because I'm my well, it is such a fundamental, commonsensical. Your friend say in law. Say the Constitution is supreme, and the extent to which any law contradicts the Constitution, that law is null and void. So and you know, I think I don't think it is something that would better citizenship. So I'm Madam Cry. You are better citizenship. People who are born here say, "I want me no free Ghana." Say, and I say, "Obani say Ghana ha." Now say, "Oko US." No, be a next month. Sa kolana ya wono no. All right. So be a citizen or be the president or US.
Yes.
So
even though the mother is undocumented.
A constitutional guarantee, 14th Amendment. And on Nancheno, Sabi, so naturalize ya. Ghana now naturalize ya. Near US. We are the only president to that. Constitution in Map. And to one more cherish sa birthright a more. Sabi. America and a chrono here said that say when China through Ohio will be a woman one of you throughout your life no you be so free here you Chicago because of me Illinois you New York New Jersey because of me free New Jersey Sano that is their orientation so I think that I don't believe say it will gain any traction you know, in the coming days.
Right. My member, Frank Frimpong, so on communications director national at Demagum. No pay, baby, and here shall see a dear free no, Trump, the mass deportation, I was shall see any of them, the number of Ghanaians or more US. I be bringing I am Shishomo. Griffiths, Trump, or Bobo. Good morning, Mammy Tio.
Yeah, I've been here, I say. MSMS, the council chair, senior. It's about the third time I hear. And basically, no, I don't think I have much to say to what he's already said. He said it all. Because anything that is constitutionally established, no, cannot be easily overtaken by law. So I say, the constitution is there. Says he automatically he becomes a national. So becoming a president, then using the executive instruments say will be changing or outright. No, in any case because Dr. Kambebre me turning it down to Yen Ghana haya. Yaomi wa Ghana ha. My baba ye Ghanaian. Maybe President Mahama Baye or say Unimse mean chief bia Burkina Faso and Nigeria. So obi use executive instruments. Now I then Ghana. The constitution does not allow it. So I believe, say humbly, we don't need to even waste much time on it. Meaning at the mechanical. We have more things to say.
Ghana for worry. There is a 7-member committee. Mampenyi Afome say ye Babe share Yensika 7 on National Economic Dialogue or share what the manifesto num and during the campaigns or bar. Obe chisa but your kui amometimi a shishi amount for town hall meetings. Now for the true state of the economy or masha one key thing so yes build a robust homegrown economic policy. Young fire want to a man beef so a man fiscal man gay ni lesbian man yeah mamuska also it may build a robust economy based on local policies are betting a developing Sani pay no more quay now shemwa ura Ishmael Yamson or no was so penny for be Dr. Gachi any or Momaka yen shesa committee no and on shesa betting a boy sikasem.
Okay. Miss Satia Mechanic say him say the expected growth of any nation in terms of developmental progress and prosperity largely depends on the strength and resilience of its economy.
Right.
Say say oh my Ghana be but before this happens, this country must be owned by 8 people through the leadership.
Okay.
Medeba 7-member committee.
Exactly.
Before this thing that I said can be established, we must first own Ghana. Now the question is, do we own Ghana? Do Ghanaians own Ghana as we speak? Ohene waba yejine tum na agenda said to reset Ghana. And part of it in any setting up this wonderful committee.
Okay.
Do we own Ghana? I don't think we own Ghana. Since the fall of Nkrumah's regime, Ghanaians has never owned Ghana.
Okay.
And why is Frank saying this? Yeah, but can you say IMF air control? Maybe you can say IMF selmo be buana ya prepare or ya manage 2025 budget.
Right.
And how can a country, a sovereign nation, be an institution outside?
Natural.
So the first question is, do we own Ghana? Because this dialogue here, it is in the right direction. It's a very good thing we're initiating. But the first question is, do we own Ghana? This question needs to be, and maybe Dr. Griffith will help me. Do we own Ghana? Because untimenya say man for unni o man so den to me.
So we are Ghanaians. Constitution say ye no man ye dia. Ye pen no mo de ebu.
Literal. Literally, Ghana is for Ghanaians.
Okay.
But practically, it is not.
Why?
Yen GDP. Like every month. Yitimika say, we've gotten about 30.5 billion.
Okay.
Cedis GDP. But Rube Komuno, na private investors, private company owners, almost 27 point something billion. But calculate the GDP as a country. This is how much we got.
Because the production happens here.
Very
but
good.
Then the money is
not ours.
Transported outside.
That's what I'm asking. Do we own Ghana? As we speak, how many percentage of shareholders do we have as Ghanaians? Yanko gold production. How many shares do we have? What is the percentage? Yanko oil drilling. How many do we have? Even Yanko cocoa cry you producing in this country, how many percentage comes to us as Ghanaians?
Gold.
Yes.
The oil.
Your bauxite, your diamond, your manganese, all this put together. GDP. We own Ghana. So, for me to come back to this issue, I want this question to be answered.
Yeah.
Do we own Ghana? Because we can't plan for Ghana if we don't own Ghana.
Exactly.
So I think I'll leave it here for Dr. Gray to come in. I'll come back.
Right. What's say Obesaya Baso? So if you're not doc, you want to start from Mr. Frempong Horon or say you design a policy now homegrown for our economy. First of all, we must own Ghana. 7-member committee on national economic dialogue.
Okay. Throw more light on the point I keep saying, sir, there's nothing Ghanaian about the Ghanaian economy. And I think that's the point he's trying to make, sir.
Yeah.
There's nothing Ghanaian about the Ghanaian economy.
How?
Reason why I'm saying that is that In our economy, the major players, most of them are foreign owned. Now, the problem is that se odidwa na se onya 10 cedis a onya 10 cedis a
yes
na mfasoni e 10 cedis a odi mu be 9 cedis ebe den ebe ko
yes
ne krum. So you can look at all the sectors.
Look the foreign investors.
Yes, the investors.
Okay.
Look at the major the mining sector.
Yeah.
Sikana omuye kakrabi ene kagana ho. Bebre na omde ya na omde ko.
Oil sector.
And no cry the effect no cry is not as bad as the telecom, financial, those sectors, because those ones they are producing the raw material and exporting.
Yeah.
But the telecom sector, all the major players are what? They are foreigners. Onya 10 cedis or the 9 cedis kwa or $600 and what they are doing. Or they are called. And how do you stabilize your currency under such circumstances? So it is important to have. That's why the economic dialogue, they are talking about having a resilient economy.
Yeah.
So which means that I expect them to address issues of repatriation of profit by foreign firms. I expect that to happen. Look at the financial sector. Local banks, strong local banks. So say Nigerian banks are in NA play in our economy more. They can't say.
Yeah.
On the headquarters for Nigeria, and in accounting, say a maybe consolidation.
Yeah.
They have to what? Even the figures grand personally is not quoted in Ghana cedis. It is their home base.
Their currency.
When you profit or export, he repatriates the profit to his and as Ghana, our policies, our licenses, all these people are also being licensed by us. So our licensing regime should be such that the company and yet at least be assisted and that 70% owned by Ghanaians. We don't have to accept it. It is important we take these bold steps. Say, look, those who are playing in our economy, say, open a year, go and float shares and let Ghanaians buy to a certain percentage before we will license you further. Let me also say this. Talk about that. The financial sector. There is no developed country in this world without a vibrant financial market.
Okay.
There must be a fair and transparent means for the surplus units to give their surplus money to deficit units.
Yeah.
So that they can develop, because that's small business, that is what grows the economy. Look at Ghana. And you haven't noticed this trend. Let me tell you something today. Probably it is something that people will not comfortably talk about. Through businesses in Ghana. Instead of the company America, my former company, Tap Africa, right? Company be America as established. Tap Africa.
Okay.
And the objective is to tap resources from Africa, not friends, the one that would deprive us.
Yeah.
But the one that would make us say company ni Jimmy Sema. By the laws of the United States, I have to go public. Now, Ojo Mensa say, acquire business idea you good, and there's strict regulation.
Yeah.
Ghana Hano say company need you Musema. Do you know what they do? They form a bank.
Oh.
No, look at it. Who they pay I don't want to name names. Name names. A lot of banks could collapse here. Look at them. Our school, our way. In order to mobilize capital, no go form bank. Or form bank now. He's engaging in the least risk transaction.
Risk free.
Risk free. Yeah. He doesn't know, sir. So that on the cost stock market now, he has to pay risk premium. There has to be risk premium. He has to pay dividend to people.
Yeah.
And by so doing, and also he will pay risk premium. But to a former bank, innocent people just rush and bring money to
Although what they try to stay afloat.
Yes.
But most danger.
Is Sikano eventually that money and there are some existing. That's why I don't want to mention names. But a friend said tradition to me. So, Antino, I think we need to look at our financial sector very well.
Okay.
The dialogue on the economy, I am hoping, say it will expose these fundamental problems. Say fundamental problems. Say how do we create a vibrant financial market? Emma say usika you own 10,000 from Angel. Na say almost 6,000 penny here, 4,000 here kanu. Ultimately ko baby ko invest here. Na here protected. Na obi so to me egada for 4,000 sa ditimi dey adwuma ye. Then we are deceiving ourselves.
Okay.
And also, what happens to the licensing regimes na wahano? Are we going to be bold and say before we can grant you license for telecom or before we can grant you license for you need to be certain percentage owned by Ghanaians.
Right.
All these things must take effect.
Okay.
And I believe that the economic dialogue room. Now, to talk about it in general, let me say, it is nothing but a different form of stakeholder engagement.
Okay.
That's all it is. We have a constitution now. We travel the whole country. The GG will be and the boy crying say teachers near a policy on them. We just didn't sit down to write a policy. We engage the teacher unions. So we engage all of them, take their input and look at it and say, okay, if you say we say never boy, we never boy, they are the professionals. And they are also professionals or teachers from normal softness and resetting
Obibeka committees here and also your Guzitano how 24-hour economy. Your presidential special advisor on economy sector ye finance minister. Why you manifesto our collecting all these views out there building why you want to become the president and where you want the economy to go. Why then another committee? Manifesto. Yeah.
It is all inside. Say bye. Okay. 24-hour economy is a flagship policy.
Okay.
You want to mean say 24-hour economy Yeah, Jayama. It has to have. We need a certain set of people to have a laser eye focus. On that particular policy because that's our flagship policy.
Right.
So you want to mean say the finance minister should handle it and as an advisor on finance should handle it.
Okay.
It needs a separate body to handle that.
Okay.
This economic dialogue, I think, sir, is this about the third time we have had this? I think JM Nankasa Yeb Senchi.
Yes, Senchi.
Never Anna President Mills Yebi.
Yeah.
On say MPP for no Munya Yebi. Some don't need me be a but yeah, dear, ye perceive twa. They said they hear constitution consultative assembly 1.42 market women in Anomaka. So, and I think that on said political talk show the 1 point check a
so
it's I think that it is nothing but a stakeholder engagement. What is so good about stakeholder engagement is when you take people's views, say me per se me hear something on broadcasting. My buy engine no my bedin kopo. Asma mo kan ma tra to ho. Mako bia it's a policy no eba out. And as a set of policies no eba out. Angel for fee say ade ekura no yen yadwene ka ho. And they own it.
Yeah.
It adds to the success of those policies. And I think that quite apart from the ideas that you will get, very rich ideas are because you say, Sabe, Nyansa Nidia, any pack of trim. So, San Nyansa na Ubenya all over the country now, about Boa shape policy, to form your resilient economy, Quite apart from that, the people will also have some sense of ownership.
Okay.
To those policies. And we implement here. Now or say, oh, how can
ideas.
And see a boy money a day. Very good, very good.
Mame, lawyer.